Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does, without me lifting a finger. So I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We're part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well, at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined often by my football guru, Ian, along with a bunch of other friends of the show on occasion. Let's get to it. Hey, welcome back, Ram fans. Another Rams Up update here for you, March 27th, 2025. And to be frank, it has been pretty slow on the news front, but I have found a few things to talk about, including a little real-time quiz I'm going to share, see how smart some of our Ram fans are out there. It's going to be a pretty easy one, I think. Hey, it's episode 692 on the podcast. So let's talk about a player who wore number 92, defensive tackle Damian Lewis. Played for some of those great Miami Hurricane teams. 6'2", 301 pounds. The Rams drafted him in the first round of the 2001 NFL Draft. He, by the way, is the highest rated number 92 to ever play for the Rams. So he was a decent player, did not live up to his draft position where the Rams drafted him, though. Finished his Rams career anyways, with 10.5 sacks, 130 tackles. That was in 5 years. Went on to play for the Panthers and very briefly with the Texans. So Damian Lewis, pretty good defensive tackle. Probably got overdrafted, but he's our number 92 for the Los Angeles Rams, at the time St. Louis, of course. So let's get into this quiz. I got some other stuff coming up too. I'll share the answers to this quiz at the end. Who are the 5 players left from the Rams' last Super Bowl championship team? And there's a couple of tweaks to the answers here. I think I got the 5 guys. I went through that Super Bowl roster, and I could only find 5 guys. And we'll get through those answers. Be thinking on that as we go here. 5 players. And let's move on to some news and notes. Les Snead was seen chatting with Arch Manning at Texas Pro Bowl Day. And I don't know if we should get too excited about that. Les Snead's son plays there, by the way. But worth noting that, remember, the Manning family feels pretty strongly about where their kids should play and should not play. Remember the deal with the Chargers? They did not want Eli Manning to play there, and they kind of strong-armed their way into New York, and Eli Manning had a good career there. So, hey, maybe Arch Manning will send the word out, I'm not playing for anybody except Sean McVay. Wouldn't that be sweet? Now, Drake Stoops, wide receiver for the Rams, who was signed to a futures contract recently. He was on their practice squad pretty much all last year, I think, and he was suspended for 2 games. This happened a while back. I meant to touch on it, never got around to it. And Drake came out and said, hey, it was due to Adderall. He was pretty forthcoming about it. Said he was trying to stay awake on a drive and took some Adderall. And all he needed to do was inform the NFL, get a waiver for it, but he did not do that. Got tested, suspended for 2 games. And as you might expect, the Rams are very supportive, didn't come down on him hard. He'll still be, still have a shot at making this 53-man roster. He's probably a little bit of a long shot, but Drake Stoops out for 2 games. And Josh Reynolds, her old buddy, has signed with the Jets. His career kind of took a hit in that Lions 49ers playoff game. That was so sad to see. I think it was 2 critical drops, right? So he's with the Jets. And then Puka Nacua, boy, this guy cracks me up. He shares that he plans on retiring at 30, and I suspect a lot of Ram fans are spun up about that. But hey, don't stress too much. I mean, he's 23. He'll be turning 24 soon. We're talking 6 years, right? He's got plenty of playing time left, hopefully all with our Los Angeles Rams. Okay, we'll get into some mock drafts here. Some of these I've already shared. I got 4 mock drafts. Who the Rams took at number 26. Actually, one of them was actually a trade back. But it's as interesting who these mock drafters passed on for the Rams as who they took, actually. And Walter Football, he had the Rams taking wide receiver Luther Burden, who has been slipping a little bit in some rankings. And who did they pass on? Still on the board was Colston Loveland, the tight end, Jackson Dart, the quarterback, and Emeka Egbuka, the great wide receiver out of Ohio State. I might have taken any one of those 3 over Burden if it was me. I already talked about Daniel Jeremiah taking quarterback Trey Amos. On the board, he passed on Azare Thomas, Jared Verse's old teammate, and Chris Trapazzo of CBS Sports had the Rams trading back, traded with the Giants, dropped into the 2nd round. I think it was the 35th pick overall, had them picking linebacker Jihad Campbell, and he passed on, I guess technically the Rams did pass on Jackson Dart because that's who the Giants selected with the Rams pick. Would not be surprised if the Rams hung there and took someone like Jackson Dart. In that trade, the Rams, by the way, picked up a 3rd and 4th rounder. And then Mike Band of NFL.com had them picking Thomas, the cornerback out of Florida State, passing on Siobhan Revell, who I think a month ago was the higher rated cornerback for sure, right? Thomas I was seeing slotted in the 2nd round, Revell early in the 1st, so maybe that's flipped. But there you have it. That's who these guys have the Rams picking at 26, actually, in the one case, dropping into the 2nd round for their pick. And speaking of wide receivers, one guy that we haven't talked about and has been dropping a little bit too is Tatario McMillan. I'm going to call him T-Mac. That's his nickname. I already butchered the first name, I'm sure. And he was, and still is by some accounts, the best receiver in the draft. But I have seen him dropping a little bit. And could the Rams pick him or maybe move up to select him? 6'4", 219 pounds, coming out of high school in California, a top 5 wide receiver nationally, the California State Player of the Year with 88 catches, over 1,300 yards, and 18 TDs as a senior. This was at Servite High School, by the way, and at the University of Arizona, first-team All-American, big-bodied wide receiver. Really a great weapon. To have him out there with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua would be something else. Now, would the Rams move up and take him? Probably not. If he dropped it to 26, man, how could you pass on him? I'm just bringing him up because we have not talked about him at all on this channel, on this podcast, and a guy to keep your eye on, a guy that can really win ball fights in the air, can stretch the field a little bit, a big wide receiver. He would be quite the addition to this Rams offense. I don't think he's going to be there, but worth talking about a little bit because I have seen him dropping in some mocks. And a bonus, McMillan is Polynesian, originally from Hawaii. Opposite of Nakua, would that be a first?
This episode is brought to you by Walmart. New beauty is in bloom at Walmart, and it's all about springtime radiance. From Drybar, Tula Skincare, and hundreds more available online, Walmart has the premium brands you want and this season's on-trend products for flawless, glossy hair and hydrated skin. Big name beauty brands? Check. The things you love? Check. Find trending spring beauty and all you need to look and feel gorgeous at Walmart, on app and online.
There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America NA, member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Hear that? It's SpringFest savings calling your name. Only at Lowe's. Right now, get a free Select Ego 56-volt battery when you buy a Select Ego trimmer, blower, or mower. Plus, get your choice of any 2 bags of Miracle-Gro organic soil mix for only $16. Shop these can't-miss deals in-store or online today. Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 4/2. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Excludes Hawaii.
Last week was our first playoff game, and my plaque psoriasis was so itchy under all my gear. Sometimes just thinking about scratching could take me out of the moment. And then my doctor told me I could get clearer skin with a pill called Otezla.
Otezla apremilast is a prescription medicine used to treat adult patients with plaque psoriasis for whom phototherapy or systemic therapy is appropriate. Otezla can help you get clearer skin after just 4 months.
Okay, ready for the next game. Talking to my doctor about a pill was a total game changer.
Don't use Otezla if you're allergic to it. Get medical help right away if you have trouble breathing or swallowing, swelling of the face, lips, tongue, throat, or arms. Severe diarrhea, nausea or vomiting, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss can happen. Tell your doctor if any of these occur and if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. Call 1-844-4-OTEZLA or visit Otezla.com for prescribing info about cost, and more.
And back to that quiz. We'll go through this quickly just for fun. Who are the 5 players left from the Rams' last Super Bowl championship team? Well, the first one is Tyler Higbee. Now, there's a catch here. Tyler did not play in that Super Bowl. And, you know, I went back and looked at the stats from that game. And Bryson Hopkins, remember Bryson Hopkins, out of the league. He had 4 catches for 47 yards. Bryson Hopkins on his career, I think he has 300 snaps, 180, 190 yards, something like that. But 47 yards in a Super Bowl. And poor Tyler Higbee, over 6,000 snaps, almost 4,000 yards, and has not played a snap in a Super Bowl. So hopefully that will change this year for Tyler Higbee. Who's our next guy up? The second player left from that Super Bowl team, Darius Williams. And there's a catch here too. Darius Williams actually left the Rams after that Super Bowl and came back. And worth mentioning, he led the team in tackles in that Super Bowl. That was quite surprising to me as I looked through the box score for that Super Bowl. And who we got next? We have Rob Havenstein. That should have been the gimme. This guy's been around forever. And yes, he is one of the three of the 5 players. And the last 2, I think you'll know, Matthew Stafford, obviously. And then Tutu Atwell, who surprisingly, looking at the box score here, did not have a catch. I know he played in that game, didn't he? He had no catches in that Super Bowl win over the Bengals. So there's my little quiz for you. And hey, if I mess this up, if I miss somebody, let me know in the comments. Very possibly I did. I have been known to make a mistake or two on this channel, and guilty as charged. And last but not least, the Rams have met with Auburn running back Jarquez Hunter, 5'9", 204 pounds, kind of in that Kyren Williams, Blake Corum size, but 4.4 speed. So he's got some speed, known for his character and work ethic. Surprise, surprise. These guys, the Rams just flock to these types of guys. Compact, lower body power. That's what he's known for, a run after contact machine. Now, if you read his profile, he is a little bit different. He is a tough runner that just gets yards after contact. And I wouldn't call him a change of pace running back, but he is a little bit different and would offer just a different look to defenses when if you had this guy in. Might be a decent short yardage guy despite his size, but I love the fact that he's known for his character and work ethic. He is the 25th ranked running back on some boards, so we're not talking about a high draft pick, late rounds, maybe even an undrafted free agent. And sometimes that's what these teams do. So like, hey, you know what? You're probably not going to get drafted, but we want you in our camp regardless. We'll be calling you the minute the draft ends. And what I've seen about this guy, I like him a lot. Not the blazing speed. Now, he's not slow by any stretch. You know, he's got some speed there, obviously, but that's not really what he's known for. A different kind of running back than Kyren and Blake, in my opinion. So most important of all, a guy that works hard and a high character player as well. And man, the Rams locker room is just full of those guys, aren't they? So that's all I got this episode. Unfortunately, not a lot else to talk about. I'll be coming back with a mock draft. I'm going to have some NFL draft experts on here soon. I'll have some friends of the show joining me for a roundtable, joining me or me and Ian. We'll see how that goes. And still an open invitation. Ram Fan Rap Sessions. If you're a Rams fan and you want to join me, let me know. Even if you've been on this show before, there's a few of you out there, you know who you are. You want to come back on the show, let me know. It's a slow time. Things are going to start picking up as we get close to the draft. So let's get some content out there. Help me out. Jump on the show with me. We'll do some mock drafts, whatever you want to do. That's all I got for this episode, though. Out here from Rams Up.
This is a message from sponsor Intuit TurboTax. Taxes was getting frustrated by your forms. Now, Taxes is uploading your forms with a snap, and a TurboTax expert will do your taxes for you. One who's backed by the latest tech, which cross-checks millions of data points for absolute accuracy, all of which makes it easy for you to get the most money back, guaranteed. Get an expert now at TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.